It's 6:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. A proposal for some of the Hunters' councils to merge has been slammed by our local mayors. The Fit for the Future report suggests Newcastle join with Lake Macquarie and Maitland amalgamate with Dungog. Maitland Mayor Peter Blackmore says it's a slap in the face, while Lake Mayor Jody Harrison says the findings are disappointing. Port Stephens Council, though, has been given the all-clear to stand alone. Deputy Mayor Chris Doohan says it's a great result for ratepayers.
And also a boost of confidence for the electorate that the current council has been steered in the right direction by Mayor Bruce McKenzie, and our leadership team are doing an excellent job in keeping our finances in check and keeping the council running smoothly.
Police are appealing for help from the public to identify a gang of vandals who left a trail of destruction at a Lochinvar school. The culprits targeted All Saints College at St Joseph's campus last Sunday morning, breaking windows, damaging the back field and destroying water coolers, lockers, taps and lights, leaving a damage bill of more than $25,000. CCTV footage has already helped police identify one of the alleged offenders. A number of Dungog residents are facing the possibility of not returning home before Christmas as their homes remain damaged 6 months on from April's storm. The storm damaged more than 80 homes while leaving 3 people dead. Many of the affected residents were living in the assisted living complex Allison Court, which remains damaged. Manager of the Dungog Shire Community Centre, Sarah O'Brien, says there are many aspects to the recovery.
It can take some people years to recover fully from a natural disaster because there are so many elements to recovery. It's not just the physical recovery, but it's your financial recovery, your emotional recovery, and other elements within the community.
Private investment in Newcastle remains strong, with plenty of interest in a new apartment block. Construction of the addition building at Honeysuckle has barely begun. However, the Herald reports all 71 apartments have been sold, while Colliers International has signed on as a major tenant at a separate commercial building being constructed next door. Both towers should be finished by late next year. Meanwhile, there's been a lot of interest in the former Empire Hotel site in Hunter Street. The Hunter Development Corporation has received a large number of proposals to redevelop the prime piece of real estate. The St Vincent de Paul Society is hosting the Push to the Margins Forum tonight in Newcastle to help ignite discussions surrounding poverty and inequality in Australia. The forum is in response to AntiPoverty Week, held nationwide over last week, to discuss possible solutions for poverty and disadvantage in the community. The event is being held in Newcastle City Hall from 5:30 tonight and will host 6 expert speakers. Vinnie's Maitland Newcastle Executive Officer Denise Lucas says poverty is often a generational issue.
In Australia, living below the poverty line, that's nearly 14%, and we're finding that often it is a generational issue. So a child born into a situation of disadvantage, into a family that's suffering from impoverished living conditions, will struggle to break out of that cycle.
And the Hunter is in for a wild afternoon with a major storm expected later on. The temperature will climb into the 30s from the coast to the valley before the clouds roll in this afternoon and tonight, bringing showers and a thunderstorm.
Sport, thanks to our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club's Melbourne Cup Carnival.
Newcastle Jets captain Nigel Bogard is calling for player health to be top priority after Mark Birigitti's major facial injury. Birigitti copped a boot to the face in last week's 1-0 loss at Hunter Stadium, leaving him with 4 shattered teeth and 40 stitches. Bogard says despite it all, he's determined to get back on the field.
He wants to play. He's a goalkeeper. They're a different breed, mate, to be honest with you. But that's his mentality. For him to come out and put his body on the line for the team in the game shows his mentality and his commitment to the cause.
The Newcastle Knights are distancing themselves from prop Pat Vai. He's been charged with 1 count of assaulting or obstructing police and 1 count of a fray after a brawl in Brisbane on Monday. Chief Executive Matt Gidley says despite reports Vai re-signed with the club for 2 seasons, his contract has not been renewed. And the Newcastle Rebels are welcoming back Todd Edwards as their head coach for 2016. The former Cessnock coach will be retaining the position for next year's country championships, hoping for a reprieve after this year's 21-20 loss to Canberra. To a new RFM News Time, 26 to 7.